Is that fight going to be in the bubble?
It's going to be in the bubble. You understand, the football game, first of all, we're governed by Nevada law. And under Nevada law, you can't do it with spectators yet. And the football games, like the Kansas City game, I saw that with spectators, socially distant. That's outdoors. And outdoor events are different because of air circulation than indoor events are. So, again, we are not planning for any spectators for that fight. It hurts me because our ticket brokers are calling us up, offering us $1,000 a ticket for tickets to that fight. They claim that they could sell a couple of thousand seats at $1,000 a piece, which is real money, but there's no way we can do it.
So have you guys made an attempt to talk to Nevada about doing it in an outdoor venue like the Raiders Stadium or something like that? Was that even attempted, or you guys just didn't even bother?
It becomes very complicated as far as how to do it safely in Nevada, even in an outdoor setting like Raiders Stadium. And it requires lots and lots of protocol and lots of preparation. And it's like when we first started with the bubble, it took us more than 2 months before we developed the protocol with the states, which allowed us to go. And this is the same thing.
I want to ask you about Dillian Whyte, as I'm sure you would have expected, probably not in great detail, but what did you make of the performance against Povetkin and the ending, I suppose? I know there was that little thing on Twitter, Dominic Ingle said something about just how do you avoid that shot, and you said, come down the gym, son, I'll show you, which I thought was pretty funny. What did you make of the fight overall?
Well, you know, he was winning, wasn't he? He was a dominator, but I'd like to have seen him been the aggressor as well as the dominator. It was a dominator, but Alexander Povetkin, from our very, very first press conference we did back in Manchester, I believe, probably 6 months ago, I did say to everybody, Alexander Povetkin can smell what you're gonna do, because them experienced guys that had the amateur pedigree and an Olympian, I think, and an Olympian, they know what you're going to do before you do it. It's just in us, in of them people, and you got to respect that. So, but for me, Dillian, he should have kept it long and strong. Don't have to do mid-range, not mid-range. Just you do mid and short range as and when you're ready to put a show on. That suits us, that suits Dillian. But that's a lesson he's going to learn, and I'm sure I'm glad he's getting straight back on the horse, and he's going to go and do what he should have done the first time round, because he's got that 10 years on him. He's got to take advantage of his youth and of his attributes, which he could have took the street to him when he rocked him the first or the second time. When I mean took the street to him, not too crude, but rough him and just get behind the long, strong jab. It would have softened Alexander Povetkin up, long, strong. But it was very, very shocking, I must say. I was very, very shocked to a simple shot, jab. I used to do that with Dillian all the time. Jab, drop the left shoulder, left uppercut. And if you get a bit greedy, you can get the right hand off and all. But he didn't have to do that, did he, Alexander? But it was a great shot by Alexander Povetkin, and it wasn't a lucky shot. It was something that he's did for years and years and years and years.
They're both different fighters. You know, AJ, I feel that he hasn't got that natural boxing ability, that natural talent that Tyson Fury's got, but he's more naturally athletic. I feel like he's stronger, he punches harder. He's got Olympic gold medal, so he's obviously got the experience at that level. But I don't know, he's kind of, I don't want to say it's forced or played down. AJ's a great fighter. I've seen him in the gym and all sparring, so he's a top fighter. But Tyson Fury is one of them. He's just a naturally talented, real quality, real elusive ability. You know, his speed and his light for a heavyweight, because he's so quick and nimble, and light on his feet. If you're going to compare two fights, compare the Klitschko that Fury beat against the Klitschko that AJ beat. You know, Klitschko had been sat on the sofa for 18 months before AJ fought him, and it kind of came out of retirement to fight AJ. Am I right in saying that? It'd been really inactive, and he gave AJ a really hard fight, put him over, and AJ fought fantastic, climbed off the canvas, got the win. It was brilliant. I was there that night commentating. It was one of the best fights I've been to live, to sit and watch in terms of the dramatics. I was working the show on Sky, and my heart was going. I was shouting, trying to commentate and trying to keep my emotions in check. And it was just awesome. And for AJ to finish it the way he did, it's brilliant. You've got to give him his credit. But the fight with Fury and Klitschko, 2 or 3 years before that, Fury just did what he does. I mean, it wasn't a very intensive fight. I'm not going to say it was as good as the AJ fight, because it wasn't. It was just a messy, awkward, horrible affair. But Fury got in there and was tricky and awkward and fast. And he was nonchalant in the way in which he was fighting, with his looks, the stares on his face, his body language. And it was quite an easy night's work for Fury. He made quite an easy night for it. And he fought a better Klitschko. You know, people can argue all they want, but he fought a better Klitschko than what AJ did. And he made an easier night of it. And when you compare them two, on that one fight alone, you've got to say that Fury probably belongs at number 1 in the heavyweight division.